Just out that while you're listening to this message, you're already middle the fast. The fast of Asar B'Teves, we certainly hoped that we will feast, not fast today. But God has chosen for now that He still wants us to fast. Hopefully, it'll stop right now. But the question is, how do we reconcile serving God with happiness? If to Hashem b'simcha, God is expecting us to be happy. God is expecting us to serve Him with joy. Yet at the same time, we are called to fast. Fast what? Commemorating calamities. The destruction of the temple, laying siege of the city, which is what today's fast is all about. How do we make sense out of all this? So I want to share with you a most beautiful analogy, maybe, that the famous Maggid of Mezrich gave. But before that, let us still say thank you to Hashem. Not still, absolutely say thank you to Hashem for all the good. And even the pain and suffering, now we know that this is coming to an end. And ultimately, it's for our good. But please, God, we want to see already the good, which is obvious, which is revealed. So, Mizmar l'soido, ri ladenu kol haaretz, ivdo tzadenu b'simcha, boi lefanav b'yonono, du kadenu elihim hu asanu, v'lo anachnu amo v'tzad marisa boi shor b'soido chatzvesi b'silo, hoidu lebachu shemo ki tov adonai le'olam chazdoi, v'yadoi v'odor emunasoi. On the fast day, one is actually called to give more tzedakah than usually. Actually, there's a halacha that one should give the cost of the meals. So if you're on a diet, you get away cheap. If you have eating more, in other words, so as to not benefit from the meals that we don't eat, monetary benefit. So we give tzedakah. So let's give a little bit more tzedakah today. And we certainly hope that the fast will be interrupted with the feast of Moshiach. So the Maggid of Mezrich, disciple of the Baal Shem Tov, who took over the leadership after the Baal Shem Tov, unique sage in all levels of Torah, but lived in extreme poverty. Lived in a broken down little hut. There was no furniture to speak of. A piece of wood served for bench, for table, for bed. Food, scarce. Bread and water. And his students want to ask him, Rebbe, how can you live like this? Why is that? So the Maggid, in his usual way, said, let me share with you a story. This wealthy individual marrying off his one daughter. And he wanted to make sure that everybody benefits, everybody celebrates, everybody participates. And he made an announcement that every single person in the city is invited, irrelevant of stature. All the poor people should please come and join in these great festivities. Now you can imagine, everybody came, especially the poor people. When do they have an opportunity to have such a meal? And they came in droves. Sadly, after the chuppah, the bride didn't feel well, and she passed away. Right then and there. The tables are laden with food, with all the delicacies. And here there's two groups of thinking, of people, of the poor people. It would be a shame to leave all this food here. There's no question about it that the father of the bride would want us to eat this food. Why should it go to waste? Will he feel any better if we will not eat from it? So that was one way of looking at it. In other words, it's available here now, although there is sadness happening at the same time, but why not enjoying it now? There was another group that says, it is inconceivable that we should sit and enjoy a meal when the host is sitting shiva. when the host is busy with burying his daughter? How can we fathom this? Says the Maggid, based on the words of the Zohar, Hi alma lebehi luledamya. This world is like a feast happening. God is married with us. And he brought us into a beautiful hall, the Beis Hamikdash. But unfortunately, it got destroyed. So the world is here, the feast can go on. But who can celebrate? Who can enjoy? Some people can. Says the Maggid, I cannot. So there are moments that we can enjoy, simcha, and there are moments that we have to reflect on the sadness. And this reflection on the sadness will bring about the ultimate simcha, the revelation of Mashiach now.